Let me talk to you. God. I was making this video after it was proven that I was right when I said Dak Prescott was going to throw 2 interceptions. And guess what? Before I had a chance to finish the video, damn it, before I had a chance to pass gas, it was 3. Oh my God. Oh my...
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Cuff. This is Jerm. That's Mike. It is a glorious Tuesday evening. We are 2 days removed from a fantastic football game. I'm actually surprised you even showed up. So how's it going, my buddy? How's it going? What are you talking about? Hey, I got something for you. Got something for you. You had your flag out the other day, an American flag for America's team. So good. Maybe on me right there real quick.
That's a nice looking blanket you got there.
It's just flag.
Look, it's a flag? Oh.
It's pure flag. See?
Look kind of warm. Yeah. Is that the one you fly in your front yard?
No, that one's still up, and it's actually, the wind was blowing, and it's pretty circled up. I need to get the old broom, get it down. It's probably from all those touchdowns they were scoring. It just knocked the flag up, wrapped around the pole there. Oh, where'd it go?
Did we freeze?
Oh, I thought you just left. I mean, that would be even better.
No, that's the first time we froze up doing it.
That would have been even better than anything.
Why did we freeze up? I don't know.
Anyways, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Let's focus on tonight. We'll work our way backwards.
Yesterday was pretty dark. You notice we're a day late doing this.
Yeah.
Yesterday was pretty dark. It would have been even darker if the Braves lost game 2.
I thought they did until about an hour
Yeah,
after.
that would have been pretty bad. I might have retired from doing this if the Braves lost game 2. But the show must go on. I'm here to talk what happened in week 5, and everything, the good and the bad. So this is what I signed up for. So I'm here.
It is what we signed up for.
You're 5-0. You haven't signed up for anything yet.
I mean, at some point, something bad will happen. You can't have a perfect season.
Yeah, you might
right?
lose the game.
We can't have a perfect season. Maybe we can. Maybe we can't. Who knows? So let's just dive right into it. San Francisco 49ers defending their home turf.
We're starting here?
Yeah, we have to. Where else can we start? We got
Bears, Commanders Thursday night.
No. This is what the people want to see. They want to see this conversation right here, right now. And then this sets a tone for the whole show.
All right.
42-10. So going into the game, we both thought it was going to be relatively close. I thought it'd be really low scoring. I did think the 49ers were the better team in multiple ways. I thought they would win, but I thought it would be a dogfight. And yeah. So what's your immediate thoughts? And then I can start pumping my guys up.
That was an ass kicking. I thought the Niners would win. My concerns going in was
this is gonna be hard.
I know. My part's much harder than yours.
I know, this is tough. This is tough.
You can just say, "Hey, we won." I gotta be, the asshole over here. I've talked all season about the McCarthy offense, and and I've been remiss to not mention also Brian Schottenheimer, who I've never been able to stand as an offensive mind in the NFL. He's also involved in the offense.
How's he still involved?
I don't know. He shouldn't be in the NFL. Offense was terrible. I've just been watching clip after clip for the last really 2 days, and it's just guys going 3-4 yards downfield and turning around and running slant after slant after slant.
That's one of my takeaways from the Dallas side is, what is their offense?
They don't have an identity.
Like,
Everybody want to be. They want to be a power run offense, except they don't have a running back to do that.
Right.
And instead, when you face a team that's fast, that has a ton of speed like the Niners do, what do you want to do? You want to run right at it. Nope. Cowboys all night running sweeps, outside zones. It just got stuffed.
I mean, you go back and you look at the first drive. I can't remember what the first play was. The first play may have been a shot.
That was when you talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, 2 of their 3 first plays.
That was
were
the check
shots.
down to Pollard when Greenlaw, Brock Lesnar him out of bounds.
Yeah, there was that. But then I think the next 2 plays weren't they shots down the field? It's like they came out with no plan. I know the third down play was a deep ball.
I remember they took a couple shots. That was one Dak threw out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then the one he threw he basically punted it and it got picked. There's no vertical threat. It's funny, like Kellen Moore, it was all go to the sticks and turn around or go downfield, a lot of downfield shots. This is just short 3-4 yard passes. There's no in between. And it's terrible to watch.
Well, they're playing with the Niners, which was the same they had last year, is to throw the quick passes because of the Niners pass rush. But even then, the pass rush was still getting there. The Cowboys line, that's another thing. The Cowboys offensive line is not what everybody thinks it is. Like they still have some names, but like Steele on the right side, not very good.
No, he's the worst part of the line. That was the concern with me with him versus Bosa. The Niners are just, I think, outside of the Eagles, and Niners still might be the worst. I think they're the worst matchup in the league for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think they're a worse matchup than
Shanahan. Just absolutely schools McCarthy and offense, and he understands how to get his guys onto linebackers and safeties that can't cover. And that's the weakness of the Cowboys. Like, they can come downfield, they can blitz, they can get after the quarterback. They're great in the run game. But if you ask them to cover, Van Der Esch isn't covering anybody. The safeties aren't covering anybody. And, Kittle, I looked in the playoff game in January, he had 5 for 95.
Yeah, he looks good against the Cowboys. They've schemed him
He looks good
open.
against Cowboys. But here's my question for you. I was thinking about this too. Do you think this was an inside job?
With Trey Lance, you think he gave him bad information?
With how they called the game. Do you think they said, you know what, Trey, we're going to send you to Dallas. We play him here in a little bit.
4th round pick. We'll sign you back next year.
I want you to tell them we're not going to look for Kittle at all. We're going to have him block because of the Cowboys' pass rush. We're going to have him stay in the whole time. Don't even give the ball to Lamb or Pollard. We're going to just tear their heads off. Don't even bother.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. CeeDee Lamb had over 100 yards in the playoff game.
Yeah, he didn't even look for him.
Didn't even look for him.
It's crazy. He was pissed off, too. Like, third or fourth drive, he was pissed. Man.
He's been pissed for weeks. The Michael Gallup experiment is over. That needs to stop.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks, man, everybody talks about the 1,000-yard seasons, but this year he's looked aged a little bit. And now they're in trouble because every time I looked on the TV, somebody was walking to the locker room hurt.
Yeah, they were definitely third or fourth quarter. I think third quarter
they just beat the hell out of the Cowboys. And now Van Der Esch is out for 4 to 6 weeks, and it's his neck again, so that could be a possible career thing. Who knows?
Yeah, Van Der Esch and somebody were yapping back and forth, and then like 2 plays later, Van Der Esch got taken out of the game. Got hurt.
And smartly, the Cowboys cut 2 linebackers, so they don't have a backup. So now they're probably got to move Parsons where they don't want to put him, which is back at linebacker, and bring in like Dante Fowler to come off the edge.
Yeah. And honestly, I think so. Dan Quinn has looked good against Shanahan. Like the defense has really slowed down the Niners in the playoff games and everything. I don't know if they were naive or they just thought that they could shut down the run and force Purdy to throw the ball, and it was going to work or what. But they did shut down the run. McCaffrey was in check the whole game. Like, they definitely shut him down. They forced Purdy to throw the ball. However, they didn't cover Ayuk one time. And even when they did sort of cover him, Purdy found him.
That was what I told you last week. If I had to choose, control McCaffrey and make Purdy beat you from the pocket. And he did exactly that. And it wasn't like schemed up easy things for him, man. He was throwing into voids.
Yeah.
Great throws, man.
Everybody's been talking about wanting to see the great throws. Well, that game was filled with them.
The one he threw over the shoulder to the sideline to Ayuk, right over his shoulder, I was like,
yeah. Well,
you're not beating his boys tonight.
So that one drive, he had the one that went over the linebacker's hands. You remember that one? I think it was linebacker, maybe a safety or something. But
it was Van Der Esch.
Was it Van Der Esch? Okay. So it went right over
Van Der Esch in between the safeties. Yep.
Yeah, it was insane. And I was like, oh, God, it's picked. Nope, went right over, right to Ayuk. Yeah. Then the very next play is probably the prettiest ball he threw to Ayuk on the left sideline. They got called back. So
Did you read the story about that play?
Which one?
The throw over Van Der Esch in front of the safety?
Must not have. Why?
He missed the first one. Shanahan was pissed because he wanted to hit it. In the locker room, he told him, we're going right back to it because he wanted to do it, and it come right out. And
I think it was the first play after the Cowboys scored.
Drilled it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did miss Ayuk earlier in the game. He threw it behind him.
He missed it. Yep.
Yeah. I thought that was going the other way, though. Maybe it wasn't. But anyway, so after that play, the play that got called back after the perfect throw, what's he do? He hits Debo over the middle in 3rd and 14 and gets 40 yards.
Yeah, I mean, it was just Shanahan, man, the Cowboys defense it's fast, it's aggressive, but it's undersized. And Shanahan just understands how to go power at them to negate the speed, go power, and misdirection. Get their eyes going different directions, get them guessing, and they just had him scrambling the whole game.
And Diggs is a big loss. Very big loss.
Diggs was a big loss. That was the game where it really showed up, and I was concerned about that, not having him.
Yeah, but he can't tackle the Niners anyway.
But, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because, like I said, getting Debo on Van Der Esch inside the red zone on that little route, that's all day. Who else was that? Juwan Jennings out there on one of the linebackers out there in space. He just understands Kittle, getting these guys on the linebackers and the safeties in space, and they can't cover them. Yeah.
Yep. And last thing from the game. Micah Parsons. It was quote. I'll go ahead. His quote. It was that they were still as good as Niners or whatever. And
right.
Well, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's been getting hell about it all day. However, Parsons vanished that game. I think he may have had like one pressure is what they showed. And I remember I said last night that Parsons is so good or something, or during the game, because there was a point where they had him off the ball and he was just sitting there waiting, and then he clogged the middle and he did get a tackle. I can't remember. But other than that, though, they double teamed him. They stayed away from him. And whenever he tried to go at Trent Williams just shut him down.
If you double team him, if you go right at him,
yeah, because he's light,
you can negate it. But and that's the thing I didn't understand is why didn't they move him around? You want to talk about they want to create havoc with him and all this stuff. Okay, move him around. That's the idea with it. Don't put him in the same spot.
Yeah, they moved him around some because I know he went against Trent Williams, I think 7 or 8 times, and I know he was off the ball some. But there's no reason like the Niners' offense, the Niners' weakness on their offensive line is Colton McKivitz, the right tackle from WVU. He's a huge weakness. And it's like they didn't even try to exploit him. I haven't watched the game back to like see how often he was like chipped or anything on that side, but it just seemed like I thought he would just murder McKivitz all night, and I don't even remember one time
They kept a lot of Lawrence on that end going against him.
Yeah, that's what they kept Lawrence on that side. I would have put Parsons on McKivitz.
Yeah, or they used Parsons. This is the thing the Niners did well, and I think Collinsworth actually pointed it out, is the Cowboys were doing so many stunts. And it didn't matter because the Niners were just running power at them.
Right. Yeah, he did.
And it was screwing up the stunts. So it was an ass kicking, man. I mean, you should be very happy. I've said the Niners are the best team in football. That's my Super Bowl pick, and they did absolutely nothing to change that. I think that's by far best team in football.
I think they're by far the best team too, but I hate that too because it's freaking week 5. Like they're so healthy right now. And it's week 5, and they're killing everybody. I just wish they had this team right here, right now, in January.
Here's a great question. Can they go up another level?
Well, I mean, Brock Purdy's only started.
I know, but
games?
he looks really good.
Yeah.
It's not like he's struggling through games and they're having to drag him along and it looks kind of ugly. Like, it looks really good.
He's got 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
I said it last week. He should be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, you did say that, and now all of a
And
sudden
now
everybody else
everybody's
talking
saying
about it.
Rich Eisen,
Yeah.
Purdy should be up for MVP.
You're
No
welcome
kidding,
for the topics,
Thank you.
guys. We covered it
Thank
here.
you.
Michael McGee brought it up last week.
Nailed it. Been saying it. Because all it's going to take is one game for CMC to kind of look okay and Purdy to look great.
Since we're on Purdy, I was going to save this for the end, but I'll go ahead and say, can we stop calling him Mr. Irrelevant? Can we stop talking about the draft? Can we stop talking about how small he is and from Iowa State and all this stuff? I mean, just please, because I know it's a cool story, but he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Just flat out say it. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league right now.
If the Niners win the Super Bowl, you know what the first thing they're going to say?
Well, they're going to talk about Mr. Irrelevant.
He was drafted Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, I mean,
how long did it take? And I know I'm not, but I'm just saying. They did keep the Brady 7th round or whatever 6th round stigma for a long time until finally they just shut up about it.
Well, if you remember, they did that damn documentary. It was the Brady 6.
Yeah.
That was years. That was just a few years ago.
Yeah. Hopefully, Brock Purdy remembers the names of all the quarterbacks drafted ahead of him.
I mean, that's always God. I mean, that's
so we can have a Chad Pennington and a Giovanni Carmazzi and all that, like Tom Brady. He's just like Kenny Pickett.
I'm glad because I didn't really get it. I thought he looked pretty good last year, and I didn't think he was shook by the stage of it all. So this whole off season of like, is he any good or I didn't really get that.
Well, and then coming back from injury, that was
and it was the experience too. As well,
the Lance thing. Even I was like, I'd like to see Lance get a chance.
He's over there giving inside information.
Man, there was handshakes and stuff with Lance and the Niners afterwards, and there was even a picture of Ayuk, Lance, Warner, and I think Burford, the offensive lineman. And Lance, the 3 Niners were smiling, and Lance just looked so pissed off. It's like, man, let that dude just...
what can you do? Yeah. Also, you mentioned the Parsons thing. Did you see where he said that Kittle made it personal?
Yeah, and so... That's another thing I was going to save for later. But the Kittle F Dallas shirt, which was worn back in 94 or whatever it was.
Sure.
I think it's awesome. I think it's so awesome. Because, dude, everybody loves each other now. Everybody loves everybody. There's no rivalries in sports anymore. Like, bring back Cowboys-Niners as a huge rivalry. Like, we got 2 years and now this game of this rivalry. And it's fun again. Like, that makes it fun. F Dallas.
What? And it's funny coming from him.
Yeah, because he's a jokester and like it's
jokester.
It's not like
and for him to like lift his shirt up and for that. Well, then for Parsons, it's personal. And then Debo shot back at him.
Yeah, Debo just shoot right back at him.
He said because he said next time it could be worse.
Yeah, next time it could be worse.
I mean, what can you say? You get beat 42-10 like Vanderbilt's rolling into Bama on a Saturday. And you just get the shit kicked out of you, and then you want to talk. That's the problem. Then you stop talking.
Yeah, like when you get your ass kicked like that.
Stop talking.
Yeah, when you get your ass kicked like that, just shut up
and
go to the next week. Worry about it down the road.
To talk anyway. Stop talking. Pisses me off.
Yep.
Right, do I need to give out my ball tab, by the way, while we're here?
I mean, I've already technically sort of given a couple of my game balls.
I'm giving one while we're talking about this game. I already mentioned them to McCarthy and Schottenheimer.
Both of them.
For that damn
double
offense.
Ball tap. Now is this a Mac Jones ball tap or there was a ball tap tonight?
Is that the Dylan Brooks preseason ball tap? The Dylan Brooks preseason ball tap. Yeah, McCarthy and Schottenheimer get a ball tap for that just shit show on offense. They don't have an identity. They don't know what they want to be. Still running slants like he's back in Green Bay in 2015. So, yeah, it's a joke. It's terrible. Now, the good thing is now nobody can bitch about the red zone because they can't even get to the red zone. So You know,
Oh, it's one game.
I'm fine.
Just one game on national television against your
It's
biggest
just one
rival that
game.
knocked you out of the playoffs last 2 years. Just one game.
And now they got to go play the Chargers
And Kellen Moore.
and Kellen Moore.
I'm
and
sure they
Herbert.
won't draw up anything.
And Eckler will be back, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, but who? We can talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Fine.
All right.
I'm fine.
20 minutes in. We've got 40 minutes to go. We got a lot.
Zoom through it.
The good news is we didn't watch a lot of games anyway, so we'll just fly right through. So we've got the Bears and the Commanders Thursday Night Football. Everybody and their brother picked the Commanders to win this game. I think they were a 7-point favorite, and the Bears just come out and beat the brakes off of them.
Okay, let me ask you this question, then we'll move on. Is Fields now? Is he legit? Do you feel better about him?
How do you go from looking so bad to looking good over in a 2-week span? But this is how he looked at the end of last year.
Yeah,
he sucked at the beginning of last year, and then he got it going.
From the naked eye, it kind of looks like they simplified things a little bit, and about time, more design runs for him.
Yeah, he actually ran the football some. But and DJ Moore. I mean, we can't just talk about Fields without. Did you see DJ Moore's route tree for this game?
Yep.
Everything was like right on the sidelines. It's like, hey, Washington, next week you might want to cover those sidelines. He had 230 yards, all right up against the out of bounds. 3 touchdowns.
Playing him in fantasy was pretty terrifying.
Yeah. Nothing to talk about with the Commanders. They handed the ball off 6 times in a football game.
Rivera needs to go. They just need to go ahead and make the enemy the coach right now. Let's go ahead and get that done.
So, like, 49ers, their coaching tree. Kyle Shannon's coaching tree. Well, his coaching tree is Saleh, D'Amico, and McDaniel. All 3 of those dudes look like legit head coaches.
Right.
Like, it's a young uprising across the National Football League with head coaches. Some of these dudes, your coach, Riverboat Ron, some of these dudes just got to go. Like, the game is past these boys.
The problem is, and they'll never do it, because Jerry's an idiot and Steven's not far behind him. They should fire McCarthy and back up the truck to Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
From Detroit, if you want to, sorry, Lions fans, if you want to get to an offense in 2023 and have some explosion.
He's just not exciting. Plus, his name is Ben Johnson. I mean, that's not a Jerry Jones hire. Jerry Jones needs roll out the red carpet for somebody that's got a name.
I know.
Anyways, London, 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., whatever it was. Jags Bills. So the Jags stayed in London for the week, and it looked like it. Bills flew in after a couple of great wins and looked terrible.
The Bills look like they woke up at 9 a.m. to play this game. Very lethargic until the very end. Looks like then they woke up a little bit. But I don't know. I don't put too much stock into a Bills loss like this going overseas like that. The Jags already being there. Jags look good. The run game, defense look better. But I just don't put a ton of stock into something like that.
I don't either. It's kind
of win for the Jags.
It's a huge win for the Jags. But the Jags needed it way more than the Bills. I mean, Josh Allen still looks solid, but their run game. What happened to James Cook? He's been killing it, and he has 5 carries for -4 yards.
All these teams, man, you see it. If they can't run the ball, it's like a couple carries early on. It's like they just completely go away from it.
Yeah.
For example, Tony Pollard, 8 carries. What are we doing?
Yep. That's just across the league. All right, so we forgot to do this in the last game. What's your one takeaway? What's one takeaway from this game?
This game?
Bills, Jags, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're asking a question, are the Bills frauds? You know, there was a lot of stock rising with them over the past few weeks, beating the Dolphins, things like that, hangover going to London. To me, that's more so a victory, good victory for the Jags being overseas. Kind of looked a little shaky and choppy early on. They got the run game established with ETN. I think that's a formula. You know, run the football. You got Trevor, play good defense. moving forward. That division should be theirs for the taking.
Yeah, for sure, especially now with AR hurt again.
Yeah.
And ETN, I never thought would be a guy that could get 30 touches in a game, but here we are.
When I got in college. No.
All right, so next game, we've got the Houston Texans at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons ended up pulling it out 21-19.
Fun game between the two young quarterbacks.
Yep.
You had Ritter's best game of his career, so you want to give props to him. London and Pitts showed up. When Stroud took him down the field to take the lead late, and then Ritter comes right back down the field. That was a really good response, and you want to see stuff like that from a young quarterback. And hopefully Ritter can use this as there's your foundation game. This is what you're capable of. Texas defense is pretty solid.
Yeah.
So this is what you can do. You just got to keep going, moving forward.
Yeah, I think that has to be the takeaway. Is Desmond Ritter had his back against the wall. I mean, we were talking about whether or not he should start anymore. I think I said last week, one more game. Well, this was one more game, and he looked awesome. So he's earned the right to be the guy moving forward until he falls apart again. Hopefully it won't happen, but you never know.
Well, and they brought in today, they traded for Van Jefferson, very low-risk trade.
Yeah.
He's a guy that can stretch the field with you, but he's one of the best run-blocking wide receivers in football. And on this team, you got to be able to run block if you're a wide receiver.
Right. I'm just happy that Kyle Pitts and Drake London actually got thrown some footballs.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
That offense, I mean, they put 21, but that offense looked good. They moved the football, and they were getting everybody involved.
Bajan hasn't really
talked about that Falcons defense. I like it.
Yeah, and they don't have any names, but they've got them playing. I mean, AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates. Jesse Bates is a huge addition.
Stud. He's a stud. Stud.
I was just gonna say real quick, Bajan hasn't really had that huge stat game yet. But good God, he shows up in the highlight reel. One-handed behind the back catches, the jukes.
The coolest thing of 2023 is that ceiling camera.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
It's so cool.
I'm gonna fly my drone above Levi's just to get
cool. Because I didn't know
CMC.
he got the ball one-handed and he barely kind of had it behind his back. And
he wasn't even looking. I had to watch it 15 times.
I did too. It's so good.
He was looking up the field and he's trying to gather it in behind his back still.
So good.
Anyway, big win for the Falcons, and Texans still playing their asses off. They might be a threat in that NFC South or AFC South. Yeah. Speaking of not a threat in a South division, the Carolina Panthers are now 0-5. They got their asses kicked in Detroit, 42-24. They're not even competitive in these games, and the Lions.
No, the Lions had guys out. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
it was over pretty quick. Laporta, man, is the absolute real deal.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I loved Laporta coming out. I wanted the Niners to trade up and get him because I knew they were going to get a tight end. I never thought he was this guy. I knew he was legit, but I mean, he's already what you said before we started. We were just talking about something about Gronk.
He's the next Gronk, yeah.
It's just crazy.
How good he is. I mean,
his first 5 games.
What is he? Number 1 fantasy tight end. Out of the backfield, he's catching, he's blocking. I mean, he's the total package, man.
Nothing's fluky either. I mean, he is sweet.
He's perfect for a guy like Goff. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lions offense was great. Panthers are garbage. There's really not much takeaway here.
Lions keep rolling.
Aiden Hutchins got another interception. I don't know how his ass keeps getting interceptions.
One-handed. Great play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking about that game anymore. It's terrible. We got to move on.
Moving on.
Colts-Titans. Colts end up pulling it out 23-16. AR got hurt again. He's going to be out for a while. Minshew Mania comes in again as a relief pitcher. He's like freaking Josh Hader. Comes in, closes the door, and he was pumped after the game. Did you see him get the game ball?
Friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Big Minshew guys. Jonathan Taylor gets the big contract for the game, and then Zach Moss runs for 165.
Yeah, well, I thought Taylor was good, so I got screwed in some fantasy leagues because of this whole ordeal. But once the game started and Zach Moss got the first carry and Taylor wasn't starting and they said they were going to work him in, I was like, man, I thought like Tuesday or Wednesday they said he was 100% go. I mean, what does a running back got to know? Like, how's he not? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Zach Moss. At least he's living it up for now. This is the guy Detroit drafted in the first round of our KDFL draft years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good, man. Zach Moss from?
Shit. Where is Zach Moss from? SEC somewhere, ain't he? Or Utah?
Utah.
Is Utah? Okay, sweet.
Utah.
I started thinking like one of the Mississippis. Then I was like, wait, it's Utah. At least I redeemed myself. You didn't hear my keyboard start typing yet. You was about ready to hear this.
Where the hell is he from? He looks really good, man. And the Colts, man, the Colts are destined to be in like every close game this season. It feels like they're going to the nail every time.
Yeah. Yeah, they're playing this new coach. I really like their coach, and he's another young guy.
Yeah.
Like I like, but he does suck losing AR again. Like I want to see this guy start 4 or 5 games in a row and really see what we get.
Sure, man.
But yeah, they're gonna keep playing hard. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but
got to keep him on the field. It's already a concern. He's been hurt twice.
Yeah.
So it's already a concern.
And Titans got to this old ass team. They got to rebuild this. I mean, you just look at their box score and it's Tannehill. Then Derrick Henry running 13 carries for 43 yards, and then you got D Hop. D Hop had a good game, but man, they got to rebuild. This team's not good enough to win. Just reload.
I think that's why Spears is getting so many touches. He shows a little bit of burst.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, man, yeah, they are just like walking through mud in these games. No real explosion.
That's my takeaway. Titans, just rebuild your freaking team because they're terrible. Nobody even wants to watch them. Even when they're good, nobody wanted to watch them. Just Vrabel pulling out these damn games.
Down, take away the team from Nashville.
Seriously, like if you've got 8 games on your screen, you're never going down and listening to the Titans and Colts game.
No.
Never gonna happen.
No.
All right, Giants at the Dolphins, 31-16. Giants get killed yet again. They're so bad. Dolphins get the win. Devon Achan, however the hell you say his name. Another huge that run when the 76-yard touchdown run.
He was jogging.
He hit the hole and then took off outside. And I was like, oh, he hadn't even hit his second gear yet. And everybody's in slow motion and he just keeps running past him. That's one of the craziest runs I've ever seen. It was just a simple run.
He's so fast, he was giving Tyreek Hill shit.
Yeah.
For getting caught. I mean, he's so fast. I mean, that's a great question. Is he the best running back in the league right now?
Well, it's a good thing he's hurt right now. He blends right in with all these Dolphins running backs getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
that's insane though. How the start that he's off to.
You imagine you're a linebacker for another team, and you got Tyreek coming across the middle, Waddle coming across on crossers. You got Mostert or Achan maybe getting the handoff. It's just so much speed, man. I
want to see the lineup that has all of them in at the same time.
I would too.
Just get a tight end in there and then go shotgun, dual running backs, receivers on the outside.
It's unbelievable. I just don't know how you.
McDaniel's such a genius, and having all these weapons and this speed, like that team, they're a legit they're a Super Bowl contender.
Oh yeah. By now, you look at teams and like, okay, they for real, they not. They're for real. They're still going to get Ramsey back. Yeah,
that's a scary thing. Is they're 4-1 right now. So like by the time they get Ramsey, they might be like 10-3, 10-2.
No, still got to get Ramsey, and I'm not sure Jalen Phillips is back.
No, he missed last week again. He's questionable again this week.
Yeah, he's been really good. He was really good out of the gate. So I mean, still have a lot of talent out, and they're just comfortably winning these games.
Yep. They don't love Tua. All right. We got here Saints and Patriots. This is quick. What the hell?
Second worst loss. It's my ball tap. My second Dylan Brooks ball tap It's back to Bill Belichick, second week in a row. What the hell's going on, man?
Back to back.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I'll defend Mac Jones for a second. Like, I don't think he's very good at all. But, dude, his skill position players,
It's gross.
who would take that on? Who are you throwing the ball to?
Okay, I actually was going to say this later whenever you did the ball tap and forgot about it. I was going to follow up because you told me it was going to be Bill Belichick was definitely getting one. So Bill Belichick, I think he's still a good coach. He's probably still a decent coach. I don't know if he's a great coach anymore because the game, like we talked about earlier, the game passing up these people. It's just it's speed, it's youth, everything's different now. They've got to take the reins away from him of being a general manager. Like his team building skills, they were bad anyways.
It was bad.
They've always been bad, but now when like that year, the year Brady left and went to the Bucs. Remember when they spent all that money? They kept talking about all the money they spent.
He splurged like a 15-year-old girl.
It was insane.
Getting some money.
Yeah. None of those guys. Judon is the only one that was any good. The rest of those guys, like remember he went with the dual tight ends? They didn't do anything.
Yeah, man, terrible.
Anyway, so Bill Belichick has not, and his drafts are terrible. He has not drafted a player that became an All-Pro since 2012. So it's been over a decade since he drafted somebody that could be an All-Pro.
Well, that was what, I don't know if you saw, is what Edelman, he was doing a little media thing. I think it was Coward maybe yesterday. He was talking to Coward and how Belichick needs help scouting the offense.
If he thinks this is a good offense to run out there, it's
not bad. Even like Roger Stevenson's not a bad player.
The running back situation's fine if they have the offensive line to go power, but the receivers are atrocious.
I don't understand, though. I'll say this. I got to watch Zeke here for many years. I have no idea why the snap count for Ramondre Stevenson Zeke is starting to even out. In no world should that happen.
Zeke just needs to be a 3rd and 1 back.
Let me ask you, speaking of Belichick, let's say in theory, you're running the Chargers. You fire Staley. Would you hire Belichick as your coach with what's going on?
No, I wouldn't hire Belichick anywhere now. He's
nowhere.
No, because like I said, the youth move, like Shanahan's tree and like all these guys, like, and then Steichen with the Colts, like those are the type of hires these teams need to make. These older guys, the game's different now.
Yeah,
like if you hire a coach over 50, it's a bad hire. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. Youth movement is what's in, unless you're Andy Reid. Andy Reid's the only one that can still do this stuff, but that's just because he's an offensive genius and always has been.
Yep.
Basically, I want offensive play callers as the coaches.
I agree 100%. I don't know, man. The more time goes on, I hate to even talk about it, but it's like you see so much probably reliance on Brady and an offensive line and not so much on skill positions and throwing out cheap running backs where he can, trying to make it work, and like all that's kind of caught up to him, and he's throwing out Mac and Kendrick Bourne, and I don't know who else.
Devontae Parker,
Juju. They're not even really playing.
Yeah, Juju's not. I actually thought he was gonna be good.
Yeah, he looked good in Kansas City.
All right, we're done talking about this.
Cool, ball tap.
And the Saints, good game. You're 3-2. You're probably going to win the division, and I don't think anybody cares, and you're going to lose in the wild card.
Yep.
Steelers Ravens. Steelers come back at the end of the game, drop 14 points at the end. Keyword there was drop. So the Steelers dropped 14 at the end. Lamar's boys dropped everything.
Seven or 8 passes.
That's my only takeaway is the Ravens and their wide receiver situation is still dog shit. Like Zay Flowers looks all right, but he dropped like 3 balls, 3 easy ones.
They completely blew the game. The whole game, I watched a little bit off and on. It's okay. The Ravens are in control. Okay, why is it still 10-3? Why is it still 10-3? Okay, now it's 10-5. Oh, they blocked a punt, and it turned into Kenny Pickett just throwing a million back shoulders to Pickens.
Yeah,
and they never.
Pickens is a stud.
Anything.
Pickens is a stud.
He's nice, man.
I was just reminded, like, I just remembered a quote. I never watched First Take, but I kind of have been a little bit now that McAfee's following them.
Yeah.
So I was watching it yesterday, and I wasn't even paying attention because I was working. I was just like listening to it, and Shannon Sharp said that Nelson Aguilar was more retriever than receiver. Did you hear him say that? Because he's more likely to drop the ball and pick it up and take it to the referee than he is to catch it. I was like, where do you come up with this stuff? More retriever than receiver.
Remember when was it the city of Philadelphia was ready to kill him?
He's terrible. Like, he's
Drop
always been
passes?
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, man.
the takeaway here is the Steelers are going to make every freaking game ugly and might pull it out at the end. Like, they should not have won this game. And once again, they can't. The running game is still terrible. And I told you before, I think Jalen Warren's better than Najee Harrison. It's kind of looking that way. Pickett's playing a little bit better, but they've got to get rid of that offense coordinator. Did you see that? The offense coordinator.
Yes. Yeah.
They audibled out of his play through the touchdown, and he was just stoic, just completely.
He was upset about it.
Pissed off.
They don't have a rushing touchdown through 5 weeks.
And they're the Steelers.
They haven't been near the goal line to run the ball in 5 weeks. It's unbelievable.
They're the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they don't have a rushing touchdown. Jerome Bettis is. He's probably like 500 pounds, but I bet he's pissed at 500 pounds.
Yeah, man, it's terrible. Ravens, man, just completely blew it. That's the story. Completely blew it again.
Yep, that's the story. And yeah, I'm done with that game. Okay. Eagles. Not pretty again. Win again. 23-14 over the Rams in LA. Eagles are now 5-0. Rams 2-3.
It's really annoying to watch them. Because they don't look great and they continue to win. So at some point, I assume it's going to click and they're going to look awesome. That game was 20-14, and Stafford missed 2-2. Coming across on the post, missed him for 6. Yep. That's a different game if he doesn't miss him. But they probably win 23-21 or something if that happens.
Probably.
But yeah, man, the Eagles that O-line, man, just punishes people, and they just wear teams down. That stupid. What I'm not going to call it what they're calling it, that push play.
Yeah, I'm not ever saying that out loud.
I'm not here. But yeah, they can, like I said, they're 5-0. They continue to win, which they should do. It just doesn't look crisp yet.
That's what's scary, though.
It is.
They're uglying out these games, and I mean their defense is still legit. They're able to make games ugly with their offensive line and the defensive line. Jalen Carter again with 2 sacks.
I will say I thought they did a good job adjusting in the second half because I thought first half I'm like, oh man, Stafford's going to throw all over them.
Yeah, first half was the Cooper Kupp show.
Yeah, and then they adjusted a little bit in the second half and kind of slowed it down and grinded it out.
Yep. Takeaway though, Rams still pretty decent, and Eagles keep pulling it out.
Yeah.
Then we have probably one of the biggest wins of the week. Might not seem like it, but it is. The Bengals going into Arizona, getting off the schneid a little bit, and finally the offense gets rolling. So they win 34-20 over the Cardinals.
That's what they needed. They needed to look like this. Burrow 317, Chase had 192, hooked up multiple times to a bomb to Chase there. I think it was their third quarter maybe. That's what the Bengals are supposed to look like against a feisty Cardinals team. So that's a good win for them to get back off the schneid a little bit and get a little momentum.
Yep. Throw the ball down the field and just give the ball to Jamar Chase.
Yep. That's all you got to do.
He called himself 7-11 the other day.
So. But you know what, man? These great players, and that's the separation between great quarterbacks, great receivers, is just throw it up to them.
Give them the damn ball.
Give these all-world guys an opportunity just to go make a play. Cousins sometimes doesn't do that with Jefferson, and it drives me insane. Dak a lot of times doesn't do that with CeeDee Lamb. Just let these guys make a play. Jimmy G last night wouldn't throw it to Adams.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. That's another reason I think the Niners are so much more explosive and scary with Purdy than they were with Jimmy, because Jimmy would not throw the ball. He wouldn't force it like that. Purdy, he's gonna take a chance. Like he might have a 1-on-1, try to throw a back shoulder to Ayuk. He might try to throw a deep ball to Debo. Like he does those things. All right. So Jets at the Broncos. 31-21. Jets pull out the win in Denver. Your boy,
this is one of the
your
ugliest games.
your boy Sean Payton.
Ball tap. My third and final Dylan Brooks ball tap of the week goes to Sean Payton. Look, man, if you're going to talk all that shit in the offseason about the coaching of the Jets and team of the offseason, blah, 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 you better go win when you play them. Yeah. And your offense better look good when you play them.
And you better not let his offense run for 230 yards and Zach Wilson look great. Or good.
Brees Hall, man. Brees Hall ran for 177. Zach Wilson made some good throws in that game, standing in the pocket, throwing it downfield. That was just an ugly game. And Jets were able to capitalize on some mistakes. And the Hackett thing, everybody hugging him on the sideline.
That was great.
At the end of the game, yeah. I mean, Saleh should have sent him out there to shake his hand.
Yeah, he should have.
But
they asked him about it after the game, I guess, I guess they sent Hackett to the press conference.
Yeah.
But they asked him if Peyton reached out to him or anything. He was like, nope.
Sure. He shouldn't talk ever again about anything. Because, you sound like shit and you look like shit. You shouldn't talk.
Yeah. Sean Payton's starting to look like one of those old head coaches I'm talking about that the game's passed him by.
Yeah, man, I'm not sure. I know he's not what he was. I'm not sure that's a Russell Wilson problem. Like, he looks fine. But I think you're right on that. I mean, You got to adapt or die in the league, man. And some of these old heads, I don't know. Outside of Andy Reid, of course, like you said.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's still getting it done.
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow, some way. Thought they were rebuilding 3 different times and they keep coming back.
Right.
Chiefs in Minnesota. I actually thought I thought this would be the game that the Chiefs would drop. I thought the Vikings get a big win. They did not. Chiefs win 27-20. It was close early. I think it was tied at halftime.
We talked about this back in week 2 when the Chiefs played Jacksonville. It's going to be a season of Mahomes is going to throw to 9 or 10 different guys every single week. And
crazy.
You don't have anybody to focus on because you have to focus on everyone on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what they did again. Thought Kelsey was really hurt there for a minute. I think he ended up having 10 catches, and then they just spread the ball around. Did you think that was pass interference?
I watched it. Now I'm trying to remember what it was.
He threw the ball up. It was 4th down. It was late. And the corner kind of guided him to the sideline, but he had his hands under his armpits.
Yeah.
And he didn't look for the ball.
Yeah, they didn't look for the ball.
I thought it was interference because I've seen it, just because I've seen that called 100 times.
Yeah, but they're not going to call it in that situation.
Funny. On that play, you had that call.
Mm-hmm.
He took his helmet off afterward, and they told him, I'm going to put it back on. When T.J. Watt got called for that like 2 hours before.
Yeah, and he pointed and everything.
Also on that play.
There was 3 things.
Also on that play, Chiefs linebacker blitzed, hands to the face, bigger than hell on one of the linemen. Referee looking right at it.
Yeah, there was 3 different things on that freaking play.
So I'm not a big conspiracy or rigged guy, but I think we agree that there is some credence to the NFL wanting the Chiefs to be successful this season for multiple reasons.
I don't know. That's been like that for years. I don't know why the Chiefs get away with. And it's just like in the NBA. Superstars get away with stuff. NFL quarterbacks get away with stuff. Something about Mahomes, and they get away with these holding calls. Like whenever he freelances and takes off and makes these crazy sidearm throws, most of the time somebody's freaking holding and they don't even see it and call it. Or they see it, they just don't call it.
Yep.
I was just looking, though. If you take... So we thought Kelsey was done.
Yeah, man.
When he threw his helmet down and they took him to the locker room, we thought he was done. If you take Kelsey out of this offense, you tell me who has better weapons, the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots? There's really not much of a difference.
I've said it before. I have no idea. I mean, why Justin Watson's out there as much as he is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like Tony flashes at least, and Rice has looked solid.
Tony's the gadget guy. I don't know why Rice doesn't get more snaps. That blows my mind.
I don't know either.
It's like when it really matters and they need a first down on a drive, they put him in.
Yeah.
Justin Ross had a couple catches on the sideline, but he didn't play that much. Like I don't know, man. It's kind of strange how they do it. They want to give like his equal. Like Sky Moore had 2 catches for 11 yards.
Something about the Chiefs this year. I'll say right, unless some bogus bullshit from the referees, I just don't think they're gonna. They're not gonna win it this year. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing.
They're not gonna win.
I asked you about the Niners. Can they grow? We think the Eagles can grow. I think this is who the Chiefs are.
I think they are too, unless they make a freaking trade for D-Hop or something stupid happens. Yeah.
Like their
trade
run
one of
game
these
has not
receivers.
been spectacular. I don't think that run game is going to get a lot better.
No.
I think they are who they are right now, and they have to these shorter throws, game management almost, get you 6 yards at a time type stuff. And I still don't, even before the injury, I said this last week, I still don't think Kelsey, I mean, he's 34 years old at this point.
He hasn't looked nearly as explosive this year. Nearly.
I think he's slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
But Jace 4-1. And also, so now Jefferson's out. He's going to go on the IR probably, so he's out at least a month. They're 1-4.
He's out longer. He'll be out longer than 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying, even 4 weeks, when you're 1-4 and you lose your best player, you're done.
Yeah.
So, like, who on that team? It's so hard to trade quarterbacks in the middle of a season.
I know.
But there's got to be a team out there that's like, because Cousins is still one of the best 15 quarterbacks in the league.
Well, the Jets, that's been the big conversation.
Yeah, I just can't. The Jets would make a lot of sense, but it would also kind of make it weird. Like if he does come back and do really good, say they make the playoffs, say they win a game. Like then what do you do? Like he's younger than Rodgers. He's more healthy than Rodgers. Like that could get awkward.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything to piss him off.
Yeah.
But beyond that, man, I don't know where he would go.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of bad quarterback play out there, though.
Oh, it's so bad.
Like, well, I mean, like Sam Howell hasn't looked bad. I was gonna say maybe no, I don't know. He ain't going back to Washington. If the Giants were,
do you think they're sold on Sam Howell being like the franchise quarterback?
No, but they're not gonna bring back Kirk Cousins to Washington.
No.
I think they'll draft a quarterback. Sam Howell's looked fine, but
nothing special.
No, he's Taylor Heineke 2.0. Yeah. Yeah, there's just not another, like, there's not like a contender, like a team that's like 2-3, 3-2 that needs the like a veteran quarterback to put them over the hump.
No, and there's no teams that would make that move anyway.
Yeah, like if Tannehill got hurt and the Titans were in it, maybe something like that. Trading again for another old guy on that damn team.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Somebody might get hurt. Trevor Lawrence might get hurt. Jags might be like, hey, here's a 5th round pick for Kirk Cousins. 4th round pick for Kirk Cousins.
Well, and they say that Brady's still out there too,
Anyways, Monday Night Football. Packers at the Raiders. Raiders win 17-13. This game was not exciting. This game was a game between two non-contenders.
How did the Packers look that bad with that much prep time?
I don't know. They look terrible.
The Raiders.
Well, I've said before, I don't like Matt LaFleur. I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think he's been a good coach. I think a few years ago when when the Niners beat them in the NFC Championship, and then when the Niners beat them, I think the next year in the divisional or whatever it was, the Niners had no business beating them.
No.
And I think it was just LaFleur just being terrible and Kyle Shanahan owning his ass.
Yeah, there's nothing impressive there. We're not big Jordan Love guys.
No, Jordan Love is trash. He is terrible. He is one of the worst 4 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and I don't even know the other 3. He's not good. He's worse than Daniel Jones. I'd rather Daniel Jones than him. I'd rather have almost all of these guys than him.
You think it's interesting that the two franchises that have had great quarterback play for 20 years
Yeah.
are now Patriots and Packers are now
Yeah,
going
good.
through it.
Hope they go
They're going
through
through
a
it.
decade of it.
Yeah, they're going through it.
Look, the Niners had Montana and Young, and then a glimpse of Garcia, and then 2 decades of Tim Rattay and Ken Dorsey, and just some bullshit. You then got a little Alex Smith, you got a little bit of Kaepernick.
Jim Drunken Miller.
Then you went back to C.J. Beathard and Brian Hoyer. Go through it a little bit, Packers and Pats. Go through it.
Live a little.
Yeah, live a
Been
little.
there.
But yeah, Jordan Love's not good. Jimmy Garoppolo also not good. This son of a bitch, last year when he said, "Your plays suck. Your plays suck." Well, look at the plays now. Look who's running the plays now. And look at your sorry ass. They threw an interception in triple coverage.
Yeah. Look
Triple
at the
coverage.
plays
He
now.
didn't even look to his left. He's just staring at the receiver and he's just following the receiver. Throws it. Boom. 3 guys could have picked it. Sucks.
You see, was it Mark Davis up in the suite looking all pissed off
With his 26-year-old girlfriend?
with his weird ass haircut?
Too skinny. Brett showed a picture.
Yeah, and he was all pissed off.
Yeah. Well, I'd be pissed off too if I spent that much money on a quarterback that's worse than the quarterback he got rid of.
Well, that's another situation with a bad coach, bad quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and
Bad everything. Both these teams. I think there's 2 bad coaches. I think it's 2 bad teams. I think it's 2 bad quarterbacks.
a lot of bad football going on.
Like I don't think the Packers roster's bad. They just don't have a quarterback.
Right.
All right, that's it. We're way, way over what we want to be. Probably because we started off with a 25-minute rant about the 49ers.
What are we at? Where are we at?
We're at 55 minutes, and we got some stuff to do. So next segment, quickly, it's just a would you rather or who would you rather? I came up with 5 guys. We were going to do 3 quarterbacks and then 2 like position players versus each other.
Yeah.
Or whatever we come up with. So I'll start. I'll start you with your team. Quarterback.
Rubbing it in at this point.
Since this is often the comparison.
Pouring all the salt in the way. I know what you're gonna fucking ask me. Go ahead.
Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins.
Fuck, I knew you were gonna ask me that. I'm not taking Kirk Cousins. I refuse to do it. Not doing it. I don't care, huh?
I think I would.
I don't want him.
I'm
Don't
a
want
Cousins fan.
I like him to an extent. I just don't. You watch him play, man. He just can't wait to get rid of the football. He can't wait. As soon as he snaps, he can't wait to get rid of it.
When the going gets tough, Dak Prescott does not get going. That he threw an interception on the 3rd drive in a row to the backups. The Niners had 11 backups in. He threw an interception to a backup linebacker.
I was watching the game.
I'm just saying. Backup.
I know.
Sorry.
Who would I rather have? You know who I'd like to have? 2016 Dak. Fuck happened to that guy?
Yeah, that's true.
That's
That's true. Now, I love Dak.
What happened to that guy?
And I think it's just the media and a lot of this stuff's gotten to him. Like, I really think he's feeling all the pressure, and I don't know, man. He's not the same guy. And I like Dak. I like Dak the person.
He's one of the best dudes in the league.
He really is. And I mean, I'd take him over Kirk Cousins. Let's be real. I would take him over Kirk Cousins. Something's off with him right now for the last 3 or 4 years. Well, since that injury. What was that injury? 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago?
Yeah, that was a really bad injury, and I don't know. I like him. He looked a lot better when he had like an Amari Cooper there.
Yeah, because he had a route runner. Like Amari Cooper's a elite route runner, and he needs a freaking tight end that he can. Like they got a bunch of tight ends that are okay, but like get the man a trusted. Let's get him a Jason.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the classic one. Let's get it over with. Herbert or Tua?
That's a troll one. I am still on Team Herbert. And hey, Tua threw 2 picks this week. I mean, Herbert didn't throw any picks this week. Now did he?
No, he did.
That's
No,
right.
he
He didn't. We're going to see this week Monday Night Football. We get Herbert in primetime, so all the eyes will be watching. All the eyes this week will be on the Cowboys after the train wreck last weekend, and on Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley gets a shot on national television against the Dallas Cowboys. So 25 million people are going to be watching this game, and Brandon Staley is going to screw something up, and I can't wait.
Who would you rather have, McCarthy or Brandon Staley?
Oh shit! Oh, that's better than any of them.
That's off the cuff.
Oh god!
Staley or McCarthy?
Probably McCarthy.
I think I agree.
And that goes against my youth movement, but Staley's also a defensive guy. I don't want nothing to do with that guy. But yeah, Herbert, still, I have him way ahead of Tua. Still way ahead. And he's been awesome. Last few weeks, he's been awesome.
Yeah.
Tua through 2 pay. I mean, come on. Let's go rookies, and it kind of sucks because of AR just got hurt, but both these kids have looked awesome. CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson, who would you want to be your franchise quarterback?
I want Stroud right now.
You want Stroud?
I want Stroud.
Is it too easy?
It was not too easy, just because I think the bias of the injuries so far.
That's flash so much at times, but yeah.
He does flash. I don't know, man. I think Stroud, man, he's got some foxhole and some moxie to him, and he makes those throws from the pocket.
I just didn't see this guy at Ohio State. Other than the playoff game. Once the playoff game happened.
No. Man, he just turned into like a tough dude, man. That Steelers game they played at home, Steelers coming at Watt and them boys coming after him. He stood in the pocket and made a lot of great throws.
Yep.
So I would take Stroud right now. Like I said, the injury stuff is pretty scary with AR. Okay. Geno or Goff?
Oh, God. Both of these guys have resurrected their careers.
Yep.
I mean, Geno. I mean, he wrote, what was the thing they wrote him? He didn't write back that whole thing.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
I should have put Baker in there for 3 of them.
What?
I should have made it Geno or Goff or Baker.
Or Baker.
But we'll stick with Geno or Goff.
Yeah, Geno Goff for me is great because these are 2 guys that I've talked more shit about than probably anybody in the last decade. Sure. Goff was horrible for the Rams his last year or so. And he was okay the first year with Detroit. But in his last 2 years, he has looked good. And he still makes the stupid plays every now and then. I don't think he can make those big throws in the big moments. But when they're winning and they got this run game and offensive line and the defense playing like they are, he's fine. He's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I don't trust Geno for a minute. Still don't. He was terrible towards the end of last year. He was terrible in the playoffs. I will go Jared Goff over Geno Smith, and I don't think it's very close.
What a redemption story!
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I'll just end it on. I'm in it right there. I'm only going 4 because I wrote down one of those. So let's go with position players: Bijan Robinson or CeeDee Lamb.
Bijan right now. I had Bijan right now because
you'd rather take a running back over the receiver on your franchise?
Well, I think it's just CD's very upset right now. He's on the sideline sulking by himself. He just refused to answer questions.
The camera does not come with it. You don't get the camera included.
I just it's all negative right now with Dallas. I'm not taking any Dallas player pretty much for anything right now. No, I like CD. But man, I do like Bijan's run game, pass game involvement, electricity of it. You know, his moves open field, man. He's just, I don't know. There's no real weakness there, I think. Yeah, with CD, I think you can be a little physical with him, like we saw in the Niners game, and that can affect things. But yeah, just for the electricity of it and the Allen Iverson of it all, give me Bijan. Plus, I'm in a bad fucking mood, so give me Bijan.
I shared that TikTok earlier of Bijan's highlights, and I think in that one, or maybe it was something else I saw, they said that he's saving the running back position, and I agree. I think he is going to save the position, save it for salaries and everything else by the time he's up.
Probably so. Okay. Do you want, here you go, Zach Wilson or Mac Jones or Daniel Jones or Jimmy G?
Oh, God. Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Daniel Jones, Jimmy G.
Yep.
Ugh. I've always been a Daniel Jones believer, but God, he's looked bad this year.
Yeah, I know. So I included him.
He's looked real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Thing on the offense.
He feels like the obvious one.
He is the obvious one, but he's looked so bad. And the guy that I'm going to pick has been benched the last 2 weeks. I think I'd take Mac Jones over all those guys.
Oh, Mac?
Just because his weapons are so terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm not a believer in Zach Wilson as a leader of my franchise, which Mac Jones is also a douchebag.
Yeah.
They're all douchebags. This is 3 douchebags and Daniel Jones, who seems like he don't have a douched bone in his body.
Your 180 on Jimmy has been remarkable.
It just pissed me off that he's doing so bad and others are doing so good, and just that video keeps playing back in my head. Yeah,
he talked that shit.
When he talked that shit a few weeks ago, and he said, "I don't know and he started laughing and said, "I don't know what's going on with the situation, quarterback situation, San Francisco, something like that."
Did it piss you off on the Eagles game in the playoffs when he's over there laughing and shit?
Yeah, and then it pissed me off that he could have played in that game. He was healthy enough to play in that game, healthy enough to be active in that game.
Yeah,
and that's not the first time that's happened.
Right.
That's happened multiple times. And I can't remember who it was, but that happened in New England. Because remember when he got hurt and Jacoby Brissett had to play?
Yes.
And everybody was pissed at him.
Jacoby was legit injured.
Yeah, because he had like a broken hand or something, broken finger. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
Fingers?
Yeah, and Garoppolo could have played, and then I can't remember. Was it Edelman? Somebody was talking shit about him.
Yeah.
Or Mercedes Lewis, somebody was.
Somebody was questioning it, yeah.
Anyways, I don't know why. For this, I'm taking Mac Jones. I don't know why.
Okay.
I just think if he had a decent situation around him with weapons, I like him more than the other guys.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey or Jamar Chase?
I'm gonna go Jamar Chase, just because of the injury stuff and the pass for CMC. He seems like a new guy in San Francisco. I just think Jamar Chase is a legit argument. He's the best receiver in football. And I think he can run every route. He can run by you. He can be physical with you. Just throw it up to him. He'll go make a play. He's unstoppable.
Yeah.
So, I would go start a team or something like that. Yeah, I would go Chase.
I'd probably agree, given their ages and stuff. But,
yeah.
I mean, CMC with Shanahan, a match made in heaven. And, I think that's all of mine.
Is that all yours? Yeah. All right, I'll run through my final 2 real quick with you. Ready?
Okay.
Travis Etienne or Brandon Ayuk?
Oh, Brandon Ayuk, easy.
Okay.
Brandon Ayuk. Dude, he's so freaking good.
I know.
He's the best receiver on the Niners, by far. I mean, like, Debo is a playmaker.
Yeah.
But I would say, as far as a pure wide receiver, Ayuk's probably one of the best, I would say, 8 receivers in the league. I might think he's better than CeeDee Lamb. Just saying. I mean, sorry.
You could have come up with any other name or shit.
Well,
you have poured every ounce of salt.
Okay, I might take him over like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jalen Waddle and all those guys. I would probably take him over those guys. I would take him over Chris Olave.
Swear honest to God, I had Ayuk or Waddle earlier.
Really?
I did, and I was like, maybe not. I'll take that off.
Unfortunately, because Ayuk's going to play his way out of San Francisco.
Yeah.
He's going to want like $26 million probably the way he's going.
Great route runner, underrated route runner.
His hands. Hands are so freaking good.
Last one, Jahmyr Gibbs or James Cook?
Ooh. And Gibbs hasn't shown anything, and Cook only showed for a few weeks, and then they just gave up on him this week. So the fact they just gave up on him, and when he's supposed to be the main back or the back, I'd still cook Gibbs. Gibbs' talent as a receiver as well as he's gonna be good eventually.
Okay. All right.
All right.
How we looking?
Not great. Hour 8.
Oh, we're good.
Make some
Pick some
picks.
games and we're done.
Oops. Don't need that. There we go. Don't need my box scores. Oops, I didn't put the. So who's the bye weeks this week?
Steelers and Packers.
Steelers, Packers. All right, there's our picks. Okay, so last week again, me and Mike terrible again. Don't listen to us ever. If in fact, if you're going to bet and you have to bet, pick the opposite of what we say.
Don't be an idiot.
It's not good. Last week we were 6-8. Each of us were 6-8, and that was one of our better weeks.
Use your brain. Don't listen to us.
For the season, Mike is under 15 games under 500, and I am 9 games under 500.
Correct.
It's not great. So we're going to start it off Thursday night in another thriller. I don't know how the hell the Broncos and the Giants and these teams get on TV all the time. We need to have a new flex rule where you can flex out of the game 1 week at a time. 4 days at a time.
Terrible.
So annoying. Broncos at the Chiefs. Chiefs 10.5 point favorite.
Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, even without Kelsey.
Yeah. I think he'll
don't
play. But, okay. Ravens at Titans. Ravens by 4. I'm going Titans.
You're going Titans?
I am going Titans. These Ravens-Titans games always get a little weird.
Man, every Titans game gets weird.
I know, but this matchup gets a little weird until the Ravens finish teams and punish them. I'm taking the Titans. Give me the Titans.
Yeah, 4's just not a lot. If it was 6, I would take the Titans, but I'm taking the Ravens. 49.
Is this an overseas game?
Ravens Titans? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's not in London. Where is this one?
Is that the Germany game?
No, the Germany game is the Chiefs Dolphins, ain't it? We'll just do it right here on the show.
London?
What
London.
Is it London?
It's in London.
Again?
In London. Yep. Okay. Wow. God, man, that's a toss-up. I'm sticking with Titans. Give me Titans.
I'm sticking Ravens. 49ers, 5.5 point favorite in Cleveland.
I am taking the Browns.
I
think that it's going to be ugly weather-wise. I think it's going to be muddy. I think it's going to be mucky. And I'm a little upset you've taken so many shots at me tonight. So I'm taking the Browns.
Where's my flag? Where's my flag? There it is. I don't like this game. I'm really worried about this game because you get the Sunday night game and then a quick turnaround East Coast 1 o'clock is always difficult. The highs of the Cowboy beatdown. The highs of that game and just how everybody felt after that game. It's a big win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hope they're not riding a little too high on the old horse. But I also don't like Deshaun Watson and that entire offense against the Niners defense. I don't think there's any way in hell the Browns can score 20 points. And the 49ers haven't been held to under 30. So even if the Niners get held to 24, they're still going to cover. So I'm taking the Niners. 24-13.
That's what I was going to say. 24-13. Okay. Commanders at Falcons. Falcons favored by 2.5. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a stinky line. I feel like the Falcons are way better than them.
Feels like it. Even if it's a weird game and the Falcons win by a field goal. I mean, yeah, give me the Falcons.
Yep. Agreed. Panthers at the Dolphins. Dolphins are 13.5 point favorite.
It's too low. Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be 38-10.
Yep. Vikings at Bears. Vikings favored by 2.5. Give me the Bears.
I'm also taking the Bears. I'm on the Bears wagon 2 weeks in a row. The offense has looked good. Fields has looked good.
Field, baby.
Vikings without Jefferson. I can see the Bears blowing them out like they did the Commanders. Colts at the Jags. The Jags are a 4.5 point favorite. This is the Minshew Mania Bowl. Minshew going back to Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville. I think defense gets after Minshew a little bit.
I'm going to take the Colts, but I think the Jags will win. But I'm saying like by a field goal. Taking the Colts. I think the running game will get going. And Minshew's scrappy, man. And
I know, man.
he's going to have some magic juice going to Jacksonville.
All right. Saints at Texans. Saints favored by 1.5.
This is a game I feel like we both want the Texans. We both want to say Texans, but the Saints are probably going to win.
Saints are scrappy.
I'm still taking the Texans.
Give me the Saints.
It's probably the right call, and I would never put money on the Texans in that game ever. No, I'm just picking it because I have to.
Stay back. My turn, your turn.
I don't know. I think it's
Seahawks and Bengals. Bengals favored by 2.5. It's an interesting game.
It is an interesting game. You got Seahawks going east, but Seahawks had a bye, so it shouldn't matter as much.
Bengals with some good juju coming off Cardinals win.
Bengals are coming back with some good juju. Is Higgins back? How long is he out?
I don't know, man. Anybody had a rib issue?
Yeah. I'm taking the Seahawks just because I'm taking Pete Carroll over Zach Taylor.
I am going to go Bengals to continue the streak a little bit.
Okay.
Even if it's by a field goal.
Oh, really?
God, Patriots at Raiders. Raiders favored by 3.5. I think by default, I think I'm going Raiders.
The douchiest game of all time. McDaniel
Raiders.
and Belichick.
Raiders.
Daniels. I'm gonna take the Raiders too. There's zero chance I'm taking. So the ironic thing is the Raiders are favored by 3.5.
Yeah.
In the last 2 games combined, the Patriots have scored 3 total.
Yep.
So for that reason, give me the Raiders. Lions are a 3-point favorite in Tampa. Tampa coming off a bye. Lions coming off a few big wins in a row here.
This is a good game. This game was flexed to the 4 o'clock.
That's right, it was.
That's a good game. Goff versus Baker. I don't know if Gibbs and his boys will be back. I am going to take the Detroit Lions.
I don't love it, but I'm taking the Bucks. It's just something I always believe in teams coming off of a bye. And I could still see the Lions winning by 3, and if that's the case, then it's a push and it don't matter. So I'm taking the Bucks. All right.
Cardinals at Rams. Rams favored by 7.
The Cardinals kind of fell apart at the end against the Niners. They didn't look great again against the Bengals. They might be turning into who we thought they were finally. And the Rams, Stafford having 2 weapons. I think this is a game the Rams ended up blowing them out.
I agree. Give me the Rams.
Eagles 7-point favorite in New York against the Jets.
They should smoke the Jets.
Should, but that defense.
I know, but is Zach Wilson going to do anything against the Eagles and then in that front 7? You know what? Give me the Eagles. I can't picture Zach Wilson having any success against that Eagles defense.
I can't either. That's why I already typed it in. I started thinking, like when the Eagles have the football, it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be interesting what happens. But when the Jets have the football, we know what's going to happen.
Punt the ball, turn it over.
The Eagles pass defense I think is good, but man, I don't know about the Brees might be able to run some. But anyways, all your turn.
Giants at Bills. Bills favored by 14. Give me the Bills.
Is this the Sunday night game?
Yeah.
We've got the Broncos.
About them being in primetime again.
That means 4 of the last 6 primetime games have been terrible because we had 2 out of 3 this week.
Yep.
That's too many points, I think.
I think, if Tyrod plays.
Oh, is that happening?
Even if he doesn't play,
never mind. Give me the Bills. Then.
Yep.
It's got Bills Mafia. Bills Mafia is good. Yeah. And then we got Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys coming off their 42-10 loss at LA to face the Chargers, where Justin Herbert didn't throw in an interception last week.
You could have just said they got beat. Didn't
I
necessarily score.
couldn't have. It wasn't an option.
Uh,
What an option. The funny thing, so
Well,
I me and you never talk shit to each other. It's very, very rare we ever
Sure.
actually talk shit. Like actually talk shit.
Sure. Actual talk shit, yeah.
I talked a lot of shit to a lot of a lot of like so a lot of parents of the like at the basketball from Kinsley's team and stuff. And who else? Like there was a lot of shit talk. Like I received a lot of texts, a lot of apologies. Sunday night. Anyways,
I am not a shit talker.
I'm not either.
Unless somebody comes to me with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that whole America's team stuff, but I do it as sarcasm.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is McCarthy versus Staley. Who do I trust more? Do the Cowboys get over that 42-10 loss? Do they get over that quickly? Herbert off a bye, injuries on the defense. I'm taking the Chargers.
This feels like a game the Chargers have to win. Like it really does. Like everything's lining up for a Chargers win.
This feels like a game the Chargers could win like 34-13 type deals, and we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, but it's Staley, and I swear they're winning the ball. I'm taking the Chargers, but I don't feel comfortable about it, and I kind of feel like it stinks. I feel like that line stinks a little bit. All right, so that's our picks. Most of them will be wrong, for sure. You went through your ball taps already. I didn't really do mine, but I will just quickly run through my. You did all ball taps. I did all game balls because I was happy you were sad. Blah blah blah. So I talked about it already. Game ball number 1, Brock Purdy showed out again, and showed out again. And the best thing about that game for him was that the Cowboys game in the playoffs, he played the worst that he played though. The Cowboys he didn't look good against Cowboys in the playoffs. He wasn't bad.
We've been talking about what's best for the Niners in that game for the last hour and a half.
But anyways, the fact that he improved from the last game.
I would say so.
You should so the second game ball is we'll give that one to George Kittle. George Kittle goes Randy Moss, 3 catches, 3 tuds. And wears the F Dallas shirt, which I love because hey, it's football, it's rivalries, this is what happens, this is what should happen. I'm just gonna go a little off the cuff here. I had 2 other ones written down, but I'm just gonna go with this. The game ball number 3, I'm gonna give it to Fred Warner. So Fred Warner had the sack, the forced fumble, and the interception. Fred Warner is actually the leader of the entire team. He's the guy. He's the leader of the team, and right now he's the best player on the defense. He's better than Nick Bosa right now. In fact, he should be up for Defensive Player of the Year, but in the middle linebacker never get it unless his name's Ray Lewis. And number 4, we'll just give to Kyle Shanahan for having those boys ready to play. just getting them ready to play. And everybody thought this was number 1 defense in the league coming in. Here's 42. So there's my game balls.
Did you see where? How serious? Did you see where he played the team a clip? Was it Lawrence? DeMarcus Lawrence saying that the Cowboys had the best defense in the league or something like that, and he played that to the team, which pissed them off. Yeah.
Well, look, I mean,
I think we've covered that game.
We have covered it. We've covered it, and I didn't have those last 2 game balls written down. I just went with the thing here. The other one was actually Desmond Ridder because I backed his ass up against the wall. Yep. Came through. Now he's shown he can be the guy. And my other one was Jamar Chase. 15 catches, almost 200 yards, 3 tuds.
Yeah.
Called himself 7-11. I mean, come on. Anyways.
Good.
He is definitely more receiver than retriever. Unlike Nelson Aguilar. So, that is, what are we at? We're at 1 hour 23. So
that's fine.
We suppressed it back to what our old show first couple weeks was. As long as we don't go back to 1 hour 50, 1 hour 55. It's not been a great show for you. I mean,
No,
it's been a lot of
it hasn't.
bad memories. A lot of bad memories. So I'm going to give you a chance here.
Oh my God!
At the end of the show here.
What else do you want me to say?
The West Virginia Mountaineers tied for the lead in the Big 12, and they're heading to Dana Holgorsen country. What, Thursday night? Thursday night?
Thursday night.
I need to know what our psyche is right now and what's going to happen on Thursday night.
Let me tell you what. You don't. Speaking of psyches, okay, so it's backtracked to Sunday night. It's like midnight, 1 a.m. It was 42-10. I think it's 42-10. And then it was 19-12, and then it was 23-17. It's just, was that 3 in a row? What's funny is, and then before that, like a week or two before that, my memories on Facebook showed the picture of me laying on your couch with Kinsley and your dog laying on my chest because the Cowboys were getting killed by the Niners, and they were comforting me. Anyway, it's 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday night, now Monday morning, and I'm laying there going, okay, the Braves are down 0-1. The Cowboys just got their nuts ripped out on national TV.
Mm-hmm.
All I have left is Neil Brown. That's all I have. All I have is Neil Brown. And that is a scary predicament to be in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scary world to live in.
It might be a good world to live in.
No, it's not. I do think, because all the stats and the numbers look, I don't know how they're winning games because all the numbers are terrible.
But hey, that's usually when the stats look bad and you win those games, usually that's because of the head coach. You look at the Ravens, John Harbaugh. They always have bad stats, but John Harbaugh's always winning. You look at the Steelers, Mike Tomlin's always winning. Now you look at the W Mountaineers, Neil Brown's is always winning.
No, he's not.
This year.
Yeah, somehow this year. Now, I fully expect them to go down to Houston and win. They should win. Houston is not good at the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball. Defense is pretty poor. They should be able to ball control, run the football, and win that game. But Dana is going to pull out every trick in the book that he has gathered his entire coaching career to win this one.
Yeah,
no doubt.
What's the line on this one?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Let's see.
Yeah, no.
W Houston line.
I am not a gambler, as you know.
W is a 2.5 point favorite. Over under is 52.5.
Isn't that kind of low for a team that's supposed to be decent?
Well, they don't score points.
I don't know. They don't really do much on offense. They should win a game, but like I said, Dana's going to do whatever it takes to try to win this one.
So how long has Dana been gone now?
Dana might get kicked out. He might do like Friday Night Lights when he that coach speared Riggins. You know, he tackled him. I tell you, hit. I tell you, stick him. That might be Holgorsen on the Thursday night and get ejected from the game. Because there's no doubt he wants nothing more than to win this game with how it ended at West Virginia. I always liked Dana. You know, he had his faults as a coach, but I always liked him as a personality and everything. And his offensive mind was just fantastic. But yes, West Virginia should win this game, and if that's all I have left is Neil Brown, then so be it. You can't always win or lose 42-10, but sometimes that's the cards you're dealt in life, and sometimes you just have to live in it.
Yeah, well, that's well said. And let's go Mountaineers Thursday night.
Yeah,
Dana Holgorsen.
Yeah. Go Braves.
Whatever. So if the Braves lose tomorrow and W loses Thursday night, what's our psychic? I'm just kidding. We're not even going to go there. Braves are going to win. Phillies suck. W's going to win. Cowboys going to win Monday Night Football.
No, they're not.
Good.
I have nothing good to look forward to. Like and subscribe. I'm out.
Like and subscribe. 4210. It's a beautiful week. Love you all.